In here we've got a Deus 1 out here, and we're going to have a Deus 2 here just right behind this one shortly here. A video done here not too long ago showing a roll of quarters, and there were some comments made about why they thought the machine was doing what it's doing and all that good stuff. Well, I don't really know that real true answer. I'm no engineer, okay, but I'm going to show you a few things here, and maybe we can draw some kind of, reasonable conclusions. I don't know how many quarters are in that stack, but I don't believe may not be quite a roll of quarters. Deus 1, I'm just going to run this machine in Deus fast, okay? Factory program, but the only thing I'm going to change on this thing is frequency. That's the highest band right there, 17.6 kilohertz. This detector is on, by the way. I'll show you. Hear that? Alright. So here's the highest band in the center. Now, I'm not offset for EMI, okay? Now listen. Hear that? Absolutely nothing. Now, we'll go down to the next lowest band, 11.7 kilohertz. You hear that? Absolutely nothing. Now we're going down to 7.8 kilohertz. Uh-oh, look at there. We've got a signal, ladies and gentlemen, but look at that meter. Notice that meter? 99. Now we'll go down to 4 kilohertz. See what it does. Look at there. We have a signal, ladies and gentlemen, but notice that meter's reading 94. Okay, now I'll go over here just in case this question gets asked. ID normalization is off. So we've seen a lower reading with 4 kilohertz, which is acceptable, okay? Believable. Okay, now I'm back in 4 kilohertz again. Okay, so now I get a reading similar to what I got in 8 kilohertz. So what I am suggesting, now I didn't play with a disc on this machine, but this stack of quarters right here on this machine is rolling this thing past the ID, and it's locking up the audio, okay? The machine's not going to report in higher frequencies. So you using this machine with higher frequencies, you could miss a hoard, okay? It's possible. Depends on how the coins would be arranged in the hoard too, okay? But if they were stacked like that right there, listen, that's 17.6 kilohertz. You hear anything, look at there. El Zippo, okay? We're going to turn this machine off here and look at this Deus 2. We've got the Deus 2 out here. And we'll have to make a few quick adjustments here so you can hear this thing. Okay. Now, we're going to first look at mono program. I'm laying right now at 17 kilohertz exactly, okay? Let's see what this sounds like here. You see there, the machine is on and working. Alright, look at there. 17 kilohertz, not a peep. Okay? And oh, notice this. When I sweep over this, look at that mineral meter, boy. She's pegged out across there. Look at there. Alright. Now, frequency. Let's dial down. 12.1 kilohertz. Look at there. Not a peep. Again, the ground level meter, boys, she's pegged across there, okay? Now we're down at auto scans on this machine. Okay, now we're at 7.5. Look at that, a signal. Imagine that. A signal. Look what it reads though, 98. Okay. Now we're going on down, and she's going to stop at 4.7 kilohertz. And again, we get a signal. Okay. So what I'm saying is it's frequency driven, okay? and it's tied to the ID scale. And remember, this, unlike the Deus 1, has no ID normalization offsetting. Ideally, across all the modes, the same target will read the same. Okay, so if we check air test a quarter, it's more or less going to read pretty close to the same in all the programs on this machine. Now, if we use that logic that we discovered with Deus 1 and Deus 2 mono, a multi-frequency program with lower frequencies used would do what? Probably have a higher tendency to give a signal on that stack of quarters, wouldn't you think? Well, let's see. Based on what XP has told us in their advertising, and I don't believe they're trying to fool us, Deep High Conductor uses fairly low frequencies. It doesn't use 40 kilohertz according to what they're advertising. Look at that. It detects, don't it? Meter reads 99. Pretty good signal. It's not crowded. It's not crunched. All right. Now, we'll go to park mode. Park mode don't use high frequencies like some of these other programs in this machine. Look at there. We get a signal using park mode. Now, what about the fast program? The fast program probably uses at least one of the frequencies transmitted is high. And while I'm in here, so we can maybe see this better, I'm going to change the tones on this thing to 3 tones. Okay, fast program. Listen to that. And I get a 25 in the meter for ID. Why is that? Now, the detector is detecting those quarters because it's giving audio. It's seeing them, okay? But the question is it is just the lowest frequency transmitted in this program able to do something in the comparator in this machine and provide audio where the highest frequency used, and I don't know what it is, maybe it is 40 kilohertz. Is it acting like Deus 1 and Deus 2 was acting at higher frequencies? So we're only getting to see part of the multi-frequency program actually do any work right here, okay? Now let's go on down here. Here's sensitive program. I gotta let this thing auto scan. Same thing, look at that. 25 in the meter. Now the other signal gets better, but the ID is in error, okay? Doesn't read, never reads over 40. So the multi-frequency part of this program looks to me like it's confused, okay? Meaning the higher frequency being transmitted is not able to complete its job, okay? And it has to do with how the ID scale of this machine is and what that target really reads right there. See, 40 kilohertz single frequency is not going to detect those quarters audibly. Now, some people may say, oh, we can let the dish down. Well, you can. Will that help? Well, I've done a few tests and it does. But you try to run one of these machines at minus 6.4 disc in a site, you can, but you know, you're going to have to put up with a lot of noise, okay? Ground noise. So we're going to general program. See what it does. Look at there, it detects the quarters, but the ID again is in error. Gives a 25. Okay, so the only 2 programs so far on this machine that gave reasonably accurate ID is Park. Let the scan get done here. But now listen to that audio. That audio there's almost crunched, okay? But it is coming through with a 99 ID. And Deep High Conductor. Deep High Conductor gives the smoothest tone. And why is that? Because it's not as crowded. Now, is we'll go ahead and go over here. We'll look. Now, relic mode doesn't use high frequency. Okay, let's see what it does. Okay, and I'll even go in here and dial the IAR up to 5. Okay, so relic mode doesn't use high frequency either. I'm not going to go into diamond because I'm afraid I'll lock my keyboard up. Beach mode. Listen. Oh, it gives an ID too, 99. What does it run for frequency? Y'all can go sort of look. Okay, beach sensitive. Now I believe it runs a higher frequency. Look at there, 25. Listen to that audio. Okay. Now I ain't gonna. Well, we could look at Goldfield, I guess. But I don't know about Goldfield. It's not IDing, right? It's giving 60, 59. Okay, so it's not IDing the coins right either. But Goldfield's a little different. It and Relic are sort of set off on the side. It's different the way they work. So what I'm saying is, you know, when you see this machine and it won't detect a roll of quarters or something's a little mysterious about it, a lot of it has to do with, I guess you could call it, is it wraparound? Is that what this signal's doing? Is it wrapping on this detector, okay? Now, we'll go back in here. Fast program. Okay, now the disc on it is set at 6.7, and what we'll do is we'll just look at this one program. Now this is 0 discing fast. That didn't help, did it? It's still reading 25. And that ain't no real good signal either. Alright, and we're gonna bring the disc on down. -4. Well, that didn't help. That didn't help, did it? Now we're all the way as low as we can go, -6.4. Okay, that raised the ID a little, but it's still only reading 59. Hear that signal? Doesn't that sound awfully mysterious? Okay. So that's my take on this. It's nothing to be really worried about, other than the fact is you do have higher odds of getting incorrect ID on a hoard of high conductive coins using programs on this machine that transmit higher frequencies. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video.